Modern life has given us incredible convenience, but it has also brought an explosion of chronic illness. Across the world, we see rising cases of diabetes, obesity, anxiety, fatigue, and inflammatory diseases. We treat the symptoms with pills, diets, and therapies. But increasingly, researchers and clinicians are beginning to ask a deeper question. What if many of these conditions share a common starting point? What if the story begins in the gut? Inside every human gut lives an extraordinary world. Trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and microbes, forming what scientists call the gut microbiome. This living ecosystem helps digest food, produce essential nutrients, regulate immunity, and communicate with the brain. In fact, many scientists now describe the gut as a second brain. When the gut microbiome is balanced and diverse, the body functions the way it was designed to. Energy flows better, inflammation stays under control, the immune system responds the way it should. But like any ecosystem, balance is everything. Since 2006, the Celiac Society of India has pioneered the cause of raising awareness about gut health. Through research, studies.
Actually, I was suffering from severe pain in my menses. Like 15 days I have to be on bed, and during my menses time, like around first, second, third day, I was on drip, like every month. My gynecologist told me that you have endometriosis of third grade and you have to be on the hormonal pills, and either you have to take OC. It was very painful, and after taking the medicines also, there were many side effects.
I always had an upset stomach, and every season a new skin issue, an unwelcomed constant guest each day, and that was my terrible migraine.
I had major health issues. I had been a diabetic for nearly 20 years, and while being a diabetic, I had damaged my kidneys, and I had very high blood pressure. I have a thyroid issue. Within the first 3 months, I went off my insulin. That was 4 injections I used to take a day for my diabetes, along with my tablets. I am off my blood pressure medicines. I have reduced my medication for my thyroid, and over the years I have lost 30 kilos.
The journey of depression to now the journey of happiness. So I was an epileptic patient since a long time. It's been almost 14 years I was surviving that issue.
According to Dr. Ishi Khosla, who is a pediatric gastroenterologist at Boston Children's Medical Center, and he says over 300 medical conditions are linked to a leaky gut. And they go with different names, right from diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, or cancer, or autoimmunity, or mental health problems.
And we lost all the hopes in our back because I was told by my doctors to get myself into a rehabilitation center.
It is said that for every 8 celiac patients, only 1 has gut-related symptoms. The Celiac Society has in the past made films,
Constant stomach pain, such a bad one that which would not subside with even the strongest of medicines.
I used to constantly need to go to the loo and constantly have a bad stomach and cramps and diarrhea and things like that. I just couldn't attend office.
When I have to go out, look at the menu. Oh, can't have this, 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 can't have this. Can I have some salad, please?
The Celiac Society of India has been raising awareness through books, publications, articles, and webinars. It has also organized national and international seminars It has conducted training workshops for NGOs and even chefs. The Celiac Society has been reaching out to a diverse audience, including schools, among other institutions. And here's a new one. Reaching out to a new audience, the recently launched Health, Nutrition and I podcast, produced with support from the Illness to Wellness Foundation, engages with experts to discuss specific topics that are core concerns of the community of patients, as well as viewers who, although interested, might not have had access to credible content.
The happy hormones.
The happy hormones, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, all made by the gut.
If you cannot detect, you cannot treat. If you cannot treat, the patient health keeps on suffering. So the first yard is to detect and diagnose.
A man may have 1,000 dreams, and you take away his health, and he has only one dream.
The Celiac Society of India has also been graced by the presence of luminaries like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Sister Shivani.
So when I met Ishiji, it was just a belief system for me that yes, maybe this is the right diet, but it was just a belief system. I was not expecting to see any change in myself. मैंने कहा मेरे को तो कोई बीमारी नहीं थी, मेरे blood parameters ठीक ही आ रहे हैं सारे. But what change I saw in myself was my energy levels went really high. The reason I'm not feeling tired, the reason I'm able to feel as energetic in the morning and same at the end of a very, very long day, it was this diet.
And recently on the HNI podcast by Gulpanag.
So what didn't you know? I didn't know what was happening to my body. As somebody who's been fit and pretty much the same size since I was 20, I was struggling to feel the way I normally felt.
And our last guest to the podcast was Dr. Arjun Dang.
Now the testing has moved towards more of a way that actually looks at holistic health, that actually looks at not just the symptom, but at the overall ecosystem that might be causing that symptom to appear in the first place.
And through its support to NGOs and welfare programs, the Celiac Society is committed to transforming lives and building a healthier nation, starting with the gut. Together, we can save lives.